Good morning. Aloha. Welcome to Kahu's Corner this Monday morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hope you had a good, blessed, safe weekend this past Saturday and Sunday. We'll be kind of quick this morning. I just wanted to throw a couple of reminders as far as announcements. Again, this coming Friday, October 20th, at the Keck Observatory at doors open at 6:45 p.m. and then the presentation begins at 7 p.m. All to do with Ho'olana Pua, just to educate the people of the communities on the Big Island about human trafficking. We got to protect our keiki, our children, because they're the most vulnerable ones against sex trafficking. So, a very, very important topic. Please, if you can make time, again, it's this coming Friday, October 20th, at the Keck Observatory, right there across the North Hawaii Community Center, Medical Center. Please come out, listen to what they have to say, just so we can get educated on it. And then the very next day, Saturday, October 21st. It's mainly geared for your teenagers, but it's going to be at New Hope, Waimea Gymnasium. And it's going to be the same thing, but they want to just target our keiki and get them educated, and it's going to be some games, food, but yeah, it's to just help. I mean, again, it's an important topic, so please, if you can make time, again, I'm going to just bring it up again, just keep repeating. Friday, this coming Friday, October 20th at 6:45, Keck Observatory, and then Saturday, October 1st at 6 o'clock at the New Hope Waimea Gymnasium, right there in the center of town, both places. So, yeah, please come out. So, but what I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning is our tongue and our mouth. I mean, we can do good things with it, and we can also start a lot of things that we can't get ourselves out of. And it goes through the whole Bible. I mean, when you look at the relationships between God and man, and what they think and what they say, and do all of this stuff from the beginning to the end, it's nothing different. How we control ourselves, the way we think, the way we act, the way we talk. It's basically the same through the whole Bible. They say the Bible is not man's book about God, it's God's book about man. How he deals with us, how he forgives us, how he loves us, but also how he deals with us as far as the way we act, how we carry ourselves, his expectations of us. He writes it all down in his holy word, how we're supposed to carry ourselves. But because we fell, to death, we got separated from him. And that's when Jesus showed up just at the right time. He's born of a virgin, lived a sinless life. He didn't have to do what he had to do. But he died on our behalf, conquered death in the grave, rose to life, and is with the Father now and on our behalf. If we put our trust and faith in him, we get saved by the free gift of salvation. And God expects us to change the way we think, again, the way we act, and what we say. And we still struggle with that, even as children of God. We still struggle with what we say. If you go to the book of James in the New Testament, you just read the whole chapter number 3. It talks about the tongue and how we struggle to control it, what we say. They say the tongue is like a spark in a forest. When it starts a wildfire, it just keeps going. And we see it in our relationships today. Perfect example. Our relationships at work, in the house, with our families, in church. But yeah, it's a hard thing to tame, our tongue, what we say. It all stems from what we think, how we feel, it all links up, and when it comes out, sometimes you can't take it back, and it causes a lot of stuff. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But we in the book of Ecclesiastes at our Bible study, and this week we have chapter 5, and it shows up in chapter 5. Solomon asked for wisdom. God gave him wisdom that nobody else was going to ever have on earth as a human. And he was wise, but he fell down a lot. He didn't heed to his own wisdom. And in chapter 5, Ecclesiastes, as he looks back in his life, there's a lot of things he did wrong that probably, he thought maybe he could have changed. But he gives us hopefully what he writes, and as we walk through this, we can correct ourselves. He gives us all of the mistakes he made, and then at the very end of Ecclesiastes, he finally figured out what mattered. It wasn't about all the things he accumulated, all of the wayward ways he did, but the number one thing was to trust God. Stay close to him, keep chasing him, keep reading his word, praying to him, asking for help. And that's what Solomon later find out. But in chapter 5 verse 5, book of Ecclesiastes, he says, "It is better to say nothing than to make a promise and not keep it. Don't let your mouth make you sin." You get that? He said it's better to say nothing than to make a promise and not keep it. Don't let your mouth make you sin. Pretty simple. If you can't hold a promise, don't make it. I've been there, done that on both sides. Sometimes it's better to say nothing than to say something that you might not hold up to. Let's put it that way. And it can be anything. You guys know, if you guys listening to my voice right now, you've probably been on both ends. The person that somebody made a promise to that didn't hold true to it, or the person that made a promise and never held up their end. And both sides of the coin has its consequence. If somebody promised you something, hey, you know what, I'll come out, I'll give you help when you need help. Hey, bro, I'll be there. I promise I'll be there. And you set up all this stuff. When that time comes, he doesn't show up. It adds to the relationship. You depended on somebody and he didn't show up. Or when you're the person that made the promise. That really strange too, because the next time you see that person, I don't think the relationship is the same. It adds tension to it. It adds stress. So again, the wisest man talked about it. Solomon. And we see it in James, in the New Testament, all through the Bible. You go in book of Proverbs that Solomon himself wrote. Talks about the mouth, our lips, our tongue, what we say, how we use it. So it can pop up anytime, at work, in your home, at church. So my devotional for this morning, that I don't pray about it, is just to watch what I say. And even more today, what we say about things, about people. You got to be really, really careful what you say and where you're at when you say it. So I just pray for wisdom for you and for myself as we go throughout the day, throughout this week, that when we come into contact with another person and we have conversations, be aware that Satan loves nothing better than to just get in the middle of a conversation, even that he can use to start a wildfire, whatever spark we might say, and change a lot of stuff. The ripple effect can start, and a lot of people can get affected by it. So again, Have a blessed day. Take care. Allah.